A new art installation has just been erected in the middle of Times Square, New York.
This should have been cringe.
Not cringe of the day, surprisingly. It is a series called Grounded in the Stars. The latest installation is a 12-foot tall bronze statue of a plus-size black woman with dreadlocks. That's what it is. It's just standing defiantly in the middle of passers-by with all the billboards in the background, and the artist behind it is named Thomas J. Price, and here in this video we can hear a little blurb from him about what it all means, because, you know, obviously postmodern art, it's very deep and meaningful.
And communicate those inner worlds that we have, and sometimes we misinterpret with one another, to try and create an understanding and basically encourage empathy.
I have a problem that you'll understand. We all need somebody to lead.
And
so he was talking about how he wants this sculpture to inspire empathy in people that view it.
Sorry, it didn't work.
I looked into the blurb on the Times Square official website about this bronze statue, and it was just an assault of word salad that I cannot wait to share with you all.
I mean, that's usually what it is when it's artists describing their art.
Or really anyone, even the critics describing the art,
yes,
are just coming up with random word salad to try to make it sound deep when it's not, and this is not real art, this is trash. So they say Thomas J. Price, whose multidisciplinary practice confronts preconceived notions of identity and representation, with Grounded in the Stars, he reimagines both the monument and monumentality in Times Square,
what does
one of the world's
mean?
most iconic public spaces.
It's like that Damon Wayans bit where he just makes up words.
Okay.
So this also aims to foreground the intrinsic value of the individual and amplifies traditionally marginalized bodies on a monumental scale.
Remember, it's a terrible idea to center the marginalized.
Here is a quote from the artist. Times Square stands as an iconic symbol and site of convergence, uniting people from all walks of life, individual stories and experiences intersecting on a global platform. The intention of my works is to become part of the place they inhabit and its physical material history, as well as the visitors that pass through and around the location, no matter how fleeting. I hope Grounded in the Stars will instigate meaningful connections and bind intimate emotional states that allow for deeper reflection around the human condition and greater cultural diversity. The young woman depicted in Grounded in the Stars carries familiar qualities, from her stance and countenance to her everyday clothing. In her depiction, one recognizes a shared humanity, yet the contrapposto pose of her body and the ease of her stance is a subtle nod to Michelangelo's David.
Oh, God.
Through scale, materiality, and posture, Grounded in the Stars disrupts traditional ideas around what defines a triumphant figure and challenges who should be rendered immortal through monumentalization. Installed at ground level, the work invites engagement from hundreds of thousands of people who traverse the plaza each day, and the woman cuts a stark contrast to the pedestaled permanent monuments, both white men, which bookend Duffy Square, while embodying quiet gravity and grandeur. And I looked into who those two white men are that remain unnamed in the description. The first is a bronze statue of Chaplain Francis Duffy, who served as a military chaplain and priest in the Fighting 69th New York Infantry Regiment. So that seems like an impressive person that ought to have a monument.
Statue-worthy?
Yeah, statue-worthy. And the additional white man who is monumentalized here in Duffy Square features a composer, playwright, and actor George Cohan, which was dedicated in 1959. So those are two actual historical figures who are notable for their own accomplishments. Meanwhile, the Grounded in the Stars anonymous black woman is not a real person at all and merely represents defiance. Whatever it is, what it all means is that this is the woke deity. Like, this is who we're meant to worship. A plus-sized, marginalized black woman with an angry look on her face, and she's sneering at you as you pass by, and you're supposed to revere her.
But only the most ideologically poisoned person would see something like that as statue worthy. Otherwise, the entire point of making a monument is that it's acknowledging a specific person with specific accomplishments. Mm-hmm. And usually when doing so, the idea would be to show them in their most amazing of form, rather than kind of, I guess they're trying to celebrate the normalcy of what this person is supposed to look like, meaning...
Why should we celebrate the normal, you know?
Not just the normal.
The mediocre.
The mundane. Yeah, the mediocre. The reason is because the left hates success. They hate things that they hate people that achieve. They hate things that stand out in a positive way. They hate like people that win. They want no one to win. They want everyone to have the same, everyone to be the same. There is no good and no bad. There is all this same like mediocrity, and it's just they celebrate garbage. The idea of deconstructing what it means to be successful or means to be monument worthy. Mm-hmm. The whole point of deconstruction is because they can't create anything great. It is absolutely atrocious, and it should be torn down. And the only solace that I find is the fact that there are going to be pigeons pooping on this thing all the time.
I think it's only up for 24 hours.
No, it's up until somewhere in the middle of June. So
it's going to be just
temporary.
like the little girl standing in front of the bull on Wall Street, which is equally as ridiculous. The bull symbolizes something. The little girl doesn't. It just symbolizes no. No. Little temper. No. No, you can't. It's absolutely atrocious, and the fact that people allow this garbage and support it is ridiculous.
So the little girl statue was added after the bull statue?
Oh, the bull. Yeah, the bull in on Wall Street was there for, I'm not sure when the bull was put up. It was there for a long time.
What's the symbolism behind the bull?
The bull is supposed to be about, because bull markets are markets that are...
Oh, duh.
Yeah, when you have a bull market,
right.
That means values going up, prices are going up, people are buying things. It's positive economic activity is what the bull symbolizes. And then the little girl stands in front of the bull. Why do you want to not have positive economic activity?
Because they probably say that there's something misogynistic about positive economic activity.
Good.
Okay, so she's still up in Manhattan. She's called the Fearless Girl statue, placed in front of the Charging Bull sculpture in March 2017 in anticipation of International Women's Day. The statue was positioned to promote gender diversity initiatives and highlight the lack of women in senior leadership roles on corporate boards. However, due to complaints from the Charging Bull sculptor, the statue was relocated to its current position across from the New York Stock Exchange.
Ironic, too, because that type of art means that it loses all its meaning when it's not put next to another piece of more important art or more powerful art.
The Fearless Girl statue was glorified graffiti on the Charging Bull statue.
Yep.
So to place it somewhere completely out of context just defeats the purpose. But I didn't even realize.
That's a great way to describe it, glorified graffiti.
Yeah, it might as well have just been someone spray painting on the Charging Bull.
Yeah, I mean, I just find it so not just ridiculous, but actually offensive, because I understand that people don't want to see excesses in markets and there can be bad consequences, but like the economic activity that the bull symbolizes is why there are no really poor people in America, right? Even now where times are tough and people are having a hard time finding jobs and stuff like that, nobody in America is poor like in Africa, right? Or like nobody in America is poor like in I mean, we're such a wealthy country, people can decide to be homeless and still find can get enough food and get the things they need to survive. And they can make the decision to be homeless.
Yeah.
You have to be in a massively wealthy society to make the decision, I want to be homeless, and be able to do that. Like, if you were homeless, like, in Africa, people die because they can't get enough to eat. And because the economies of these countries are so destitute and so bad. And there's a lot of reasons for that. But the idea that you should look at positive economic activity as something that needs to be halted because of feminism. The reason that feminism exists is because we have an economy that is so productive that women can do things like sit around and think about being a woman as opposed to being in the field with her husband subsistence farming. It is so incredibly stupid and such a disgusting display of modernism, and it just drives me nuts.
Well,
Hate it.
I mean, I guess the little girl statue wasn't placed to protest the economy or like Wall Street as the way it functions. It was a protest against the overrepresentation of white men on corporate boards
In 2017?
So it was more like a DEI initiative than anything, than an economic statement. But that it's extremely outdated now that DEI is getting rolled back.
I mean, if we're being honest here, earlier I was looking at this entertainment CEO chart of salaries, and it's still there.
What do you mean it's still there?
It's mostly white dudes.
Yeah. Well,
there's a couple women on this list. I see
Kathleen Kennedy.
Jennifer Witz.
She shows that it's a really good idea, too.
yeah.
Jennifer Witz is on this list as the CEO of Sirius XM, and Kristen Dolan as the CEO of AMC Networks.
All right. Well, those are a couple of girl bosses we can celebrate
Yes.
today. It's just kind of insulting to everyone involved. It's insulting to everyone who has to look at this ugly. It's objectively ugly and a sorry excuse for art. And, you know, if they really intended to celebrate less represented groups, they should have chosen to make a monument of a real person who actually is a public figure, who is female, or a public figure who is black.
I was like, why?
Who has accomplishments that are worth celebrating. But instead, they came up with a fictional person who is defiantly standing there on one foot, angrily looking at everyone passing by simply for existing.
Mad that her Starbucks isn't ready yet.
She's mad that her Frappuccino is late. I don't know.
Times Square, they could have put any number of people. They could have put Michelle Obama if they wanted to.
That would have been stupid too.
Shonda Rhimes. There's a bunch of people that they could put on it, but
or someone who's relevant to New York City and their history and business there. But they decided not to do that because it was more a statement against the white men who were monumentalized instead of a celebration of an actual person.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.